Hello everybody and welcome to the Bourne Property Show Live. We're back after our Easter break with myself, Lewis Thurgood, Sales Manager, and Operations Manager Mike Hollenby.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good Easter.
Good, yeah, very good Easter. Seems a long time ago.
I know, another bank holiday gone. May bank holidays get in and it's run down to Christmas.
I know, that's what we'll be talking
Exactly,
about now.
exactly.
Easter holidays, there will be school holidays and Christmas before we know it.
Indeed, indeed.
So, we want to talk obviously about the first quarter. Obviously we're into April now, like we say, bank holiday out of the way. We want to give you a bit of review on the house market in Bourne over the first 3 months of 2018, and it's been a really busy quarter. And again, Lewis is going to give some figures this afternoon just in regard to what's coming up in the next 3 months in regard to the market, and just to show you a bit of an indication on how that market's moving on. But as usual, we want you to get involved this afternoon. That if you are watching live with us now, don't forget to hit that heart and the thumbs up for us. Put a little comment in that little box at the bottom for us, just to get involved. Lewis already sort of tapping away nicely just to make sure that everybody's involved with us today. Again, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, again, you can always still add those comments in on that bottom box, just because again it's a sort of a future broadcast. Those comments do come back to us, so it's great to have your involvement. So Lewis, shall we start off with our agent's advice?
Yes.
And we'll have a little look and see what's happened in the housing market in Bourne in the first quarter 2018. So give me a few of the headlines.
Yeah, really busy period. Really busy period. Taking not only our own statistics, but also having a look at Rightmove and indeed Zoopla as well. The kind of first headline really is the average house price paid in Bourne in the first quarter, £242,941.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a value change and an increase alongside the kind of current average value, which is 240,000. The good news is it's a value change of an increase of 1.5% in the first quarter.
Okay.
So that means prices have gone up by £3,727 in the first quarter, which is probably a little bit less than we maybe anticipated,
yep,
especially in the first quarter. But there are, variables to that. Obviously, with inclement weather,
yep,
naturally January can sometimes be a time of year where people take stock and get over
yep,
the Christmas period, and obviously people are keeping an eye on the Brexit plans and everything that's going on. But the good news is, in the first quarter, 22 completed sales in the Bourne area,
yep,
and what that's basically meant is that things are on the up, and I think going into the next quarter, as we'll talk in more detail shortly, things are only going to improve.
Fantastic. So just to confirm those headlines, market's gone up by 1.57%.
Yeah, that's right, which is just shy of £4,000 in the first quarter.
So again, in one of our very first broadcasts right at the beginning of the year, we were saying that we were thinking that maybe the market may go up about sort of 6% over the year.
Yeah.
Last year it went up just over 4%, and we were looking at whether we could get it up to about the 7% or so. Obviously 1.5 over the first quarter. If that doubles up again by half year at around about the 3%, we're almost on sort of track.
Yeah.
Maybe to see what happens.
Usually slows down last quarter,
yeah,
so your increases will slow down probably that kind of October through to December period.
Yeah.
So we're looking to get the greatest gains in terms of the prices going up in this next quarter, where we go into the very busy spring, early summer marketplace.
Yeah.
And I think, without doubt, it's going in the right direction. It's looking really positive.
Good. So first quarter from your point of view, again being in the office in here, how have you seen the sort of first quarter in regards to Hill and Clark Bourne office? Yeah,
really good. Over £3 million worth of property sold in the first quarter. So £3 million worth of homes sold, just over it's actually just short of £3.2 million worth of property sold, which is great. If we break that down and look at the kind of average sale prices month by month, just as a bit of a potted overview of that, in January our average house price sold here was just shy of 250,000, 250. In February it averaged just a bit lower than that, 222,000, and in March it came in at 214,000. So there are variants to that, because it depends on the types of properties that are sold when we work out the average here within the office. But looking at it as an overview, over £3 million worth of homes sold here at Hill and Clark in the first quarter of 2018, which is brilliant. On average, over £212,000 of profit in terms of average house price in the first quarter, again sold by ourselves, and we have achieved 97% of the asking price.
Okay,
which is strong. That's really strong, bearing in mind, that weather we had in March, really did impact for at least a week. Very much on viewings and people looking to put their homes to the market, and people took stock and kids were off school. It was significant unplanned disruption. And after what has been a very, very busy Easter weekend as well, and the signs this week in particular, quarter 2 is looking quite exciting.
Fantastic, that's great news. Well done. So good result for the office here as well. So well done to you and your team there. So let's just have a little look at what's going to be sort of forecasting really for the next 3 months with you as well. First of all, if we have a look and sort of see how many current sales there are on Rightmove at the moment. So this is something again that anybody out there can do. If you go onto Rightmove and obviously you put in an area, so for example put Bourne in there, you've got a little tab on there which is a filter, and you can either include all the properties with sold or that are for sale. So again, if you untick that, it will show you the amount of sold properties that are currently on there as well. So bearing in mind, as I say, there were 22 house sales in the first quarter. What are the figures shown on Rightmove in regard to how many current properties on the market in Bourne are currently shown on Rightmove as sold?
Yep, so we base this on a 3-mile radius of Bourne. That will take in the key villages, and for those watching will know that we're looking at the kind of Thirlbys, Northorpes, going round to your Lowndes and going round easterly to the 20 and then going up to Morton, through to Rippingale, and up to the kind of Folkeingham area as well, and that's what we all traditionally class as Bourne and the surrounding villages. So as it stands at the moment, and let's bear in mind average transaction times. So an average transaction time is roughly 10 to 12 weeks. There'll be some that are getting quite close now to exchange of contracts from sales from 3 months ago, which would have been turn of the year or in December period. But at a staggering amount really, 144 properties on Rightmove are showing sold subject to contract in Bourne and a 3-mile radius. That just shows how buoyant this market is, and more importantly how popular the Bourne and the surrounding villages are.
So that's a huge jump up from 22 in the first quarter on currently what's now in the pipeline that should go through in the next 3 months, up to that figure of 100 and... what was it?
144 showing sold. And actually, when you combine that with the properties available to the marketplace, that's just shy of 60% of what is showing on Rightmove is sold. So if we talk about when's the best time to look to sell your home, it's now. Make most of it. They say make hay while the sun shines. This really is that opportunity. And as we were talking before the show today, this week in particular, now we've got Easter. Easter was a busy weekend, and it could always be hit and miss, even with the weather as it was, which it wasn't great over a couple of the days. But this week's been crazy. Lots of people putting their homes to the market, lots of fresh buyer registrations, lots of people out viewing. The weather, touch wood, it's a sunny day today. We can talk sunny now because the hour's gone, so we broadcast the show and everyone's looking through the window and wondering what we're doing. But I see that as a real plus going into April and indeed the second quarter of the year.
Fantastic, good. So again, if we have a look at how many sort of properties are currently on the market there, you said 60% of which are now currently sold. We normally see it's normally 60% available and 40% sold. So that 20% is a big difference, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's a really big swing. And again, there's lots of positive signs as well. I think it was week before last, before we did our last show. Obviously, the Bank of England have held the interest rates again, which is great news if you're looking to borrow. And there's still some very, very good rates out there, as we mentioned in a previous broadcast. The Mortgage Advice Bureau, our partners that we work with when it comes to mortgage advice here at Hill and Clark, are offering some great exclusive deals as a 2-year rate at as low as 1.3%, and with interest rates being held as they are as well, it's really good time to look to get on the ladder. It's a really good time to get your ideal home.
Okay, so traditionally, people tend to say, get to spring, get to Easter, that's when they're thinking of putting the property on the market. One of the reasons why people think of that, again, like you said, better weather, lighter evenings, more sort of accessibility to do viewings and those sorts of things. But also, a lot of people are already starting to think that on average, if it might take them 2 to 3 months maybe to sell, and you mentioned earlier that it can take 10 to 12 weeks to go through, that's going to almost take them to the summer holidays. So if you're taking into account a family property or a family move, and you've got schooling to take into account, that will often influence whether you put your house on the market now or later in the year. Is that fair?
Very much so, and I don't think there's any coincidence there by the fact, as I mentioned earlier on, from our own opinion, and from what I'm seeing, and more importantly what I'm doing at the moment, a real surge this week in instructions.
Yeah.
We're on course to potentially put on double figure instructions in 1 week,
yeah.
which is immense. And again, that falls into that time frame and that timeline of saying, right, if we achieve a house sale in what is the average at the minute, as we reported on the Rightmove quarterly report in the last show, of averaging house sales in this region of 67 days,
yep.
and you take the transaction time in of there, as you quite rightly said, depending on whether there's a chain or mortgages involved, an 8 to 12 week transaction time, it's falling very nicely for the summer holidays.
Fantastic. So signs are really good first quarter, getting off to a really flying start already coming into the next quarter. Like you say, house pricing is going up slightly still again. Now's a great time obviously to get a valuation on your own property. So look, if somebody is now contemplating watching this thinking, actually I need to know what the value is of my own property, there's a couple of things you can do. You can obviously look back through our previous broadcasts, and in one in particular we mentioned about the 5 killer questions that you need to be asking any estate agent when you've got them sat in your lounge as well. But also, how else can people get in contact with yourself if they're looking to get a valuation in the market today?
3 or 4 different routes. Come in and see us here at the office in North Street in Bourne. Pop in, we'll have a coffee, have a chat. Look to obviously come out and give you a free market appraisal of your home to give you the up-to-date value of what we can get for your home and what it's truly worth to get you the best price. You can drop me an email at bournesales@hillclark.co.uk. You can ring us 01778 300069, and you can also go onto the Hill & Clark website, hillandclark.co.uk, where we have a fantastic facility there where you can get an online valuation in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's a great way if you are just thinking of getting a feel for it and getting a feel of curiosity and maybe looking to get that next move in. It's a great opportunity to go on there, do your 60-second valuation. That will give you a starting point. I can then obviously have a chat with you from there, but it's a really good way to get into the marketplace. And a couple of bits which has also been flagged up on a lot of data which has come up for the first quarter, and viewers will be quite interested in this. Average house price for the kind of key property types. So the average price for a detached home in Bourne, as it stands at the end of quarter one, is 295,000. So that will take into account in Bourne predominantly 4 and 5 bedroom detached homes, depending on locations. Your average price for a semi-detached home, just shy of 184,000.
Yeah, seeing that. Yeah.
The average price for a mid-terrace home or maybe a smaller 2-bed is coming in roughly at 167,000, and flats and apartments coming in around about that 130 region as well. So from that perspective, it's a really positive sign to the marketplace, and prices being achieved.
Fantastic. Also, just a little bit of information for you as well, as I've been looking through Rightmove this afternoon. Wanted to have a bit of a nosy and find out what's the most expensive property in the location. So there's currently a property on the market at £1.475 million. That's over in rural South Bourne, a fantastic Grade 2 elegant manor house over there, and then the next one is at 1.4 million. Over in Market Deepin. So there's some fantastic, beautiful properties sort of currently on the market. So get that winning lottery ticket in, and you never know.
And very much so, and that's probably one of the things I've noticed. One of the biggest changes to the marketplace, which I'm really pleased about, is the higher end marketplace. Yeah. There has always been a fear if you have a high end property, and when I say high end, anything, we'll just keep it generic, 450 to £500,000 plus. In this day and age, that sort of figure, quite rightly so, is the high end of the marketplace. It's small fry if you live down in the south of England and around the London areas. That'll just get you a 2-bed at best. But in these areas, that's big money. And what we have seen and what we have sold recently are a lot of high-end £500,000 homes. We're seeing a big surge of people coming from the Stamford areas, coming up from the southern areas, moving to a really nice town with good schooling and good transport links, and snapping up these £500,000 homes. So that's a real positive sign for me of how buoyant the market is. That the high end market is now moving as quick as the standard 2-3 bedroom homes, because traditionally your higher end property has tended to stick a little bit more.
Yeah, true. And in fact, 7 of the 9 top end properties currently on the market have listed since January of this year.
Yeah. And I think that is just a sign of, you know, the properties we've sold in the Swallow Hill areas and the Mildrove areas, and properties off West Road in Bourne, which are those areas where £500,000 properties can be found, as well as many other areas. It's very much the case of a positive sign for the higher end market.
And again, if you are you're fortunate to own one of those top end properties, we'd love to talk to you. We have some fantastic differential marketing that we can offer with the use of our what we call our premium listing package, which includes premium listing marketing on Rightmove, but more importantly professional photography and some fantastic property video tours. Again, if you're a fan of our Facebook page and you've liked us on there, you'll see Lewis and the rest of the guys within all the other sales offices have been listing some fantastic properties and doing professional videos on those, and the viewings on those particular properties are just through the roof.
Very much so. You know, we as a very small example, I put a property to the market with our premium package, with our professional photos and our video tour, which is getting really well received. It really is a differentiator when you're looking to market a home. It's bringing your home to life. It's almost acting like a previewing. And I put a home to the market on Easter Sunday. That's how committed I am, on Easter Sunday. And, you know, come the Monday when we started obviously back, and into the Tuesday, we've already got 6 viewings booked on that property for this coming Saturday. So, you know, the key for me is looking to get the best price and looking to get the best level of viewings. The differentiators of the premium package, for example, are really making a big difference.
Fantastic. So very mindful, obviously we've talked a lot about us as a company in this week's broadcast, but we just wanted to give you a bit of an update on what we're particularly doing in the marketplace, but also that overall in regard to what's happening with all the agents as well. Before we go, Lewis, I just want to talk to you very, very quickly in regard to how your Easter draw went on Facebook.
Yes, it was a busy day for me on Easter Sunday. Busy day on Easter Sunday. Obviously, I launched the Easter egg campaign, Easter egg giveaway. I wanted to give a little bit back to the community. I think it's great, obviously, that everybody that watches spends their time watching our videos, that gets involved. You know, without you guys, you know, with respect, we wouldn't do this. We wouldn't be here tonight. You know, it's you guys, it's the demand, and it's the questions you put to us that keeps driving us for what I class as season 2. We've had a break, so we're back for the second series.
Box set before
very much so. Yes, available at all good shops come Christmas. Over 8,000 people viewed my video, which I posted on the Thursday before Good Friday with the Easter egg giveaway. Congratulations to Tracy and Viv, who were the lucky recipients of our Easter egg hampers. So congratulations to them. And for me, it's just really as a bit of a thank you to everybody that joins us, that watches our all other videos that we post on our Facebook page about properties, about advice, whether it's other offices, whether it's Mike, myself. It's just a bit of a thank you. I'm going to be looking to do other things, events as well, and we'll do it soon for Father's Day, and you know, we've got other events coming up as well. So stay tuned for those. But really, thank you everybody for spending the time to watch the Bourne Property Show, and indeed our other videos and broadcasts.
Fantastic. Well, again, thanks for all your participation. Hopefully, you found this week's broadcast as beneficial and informative as usual. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Next week, leaving it in the safe hands of Lewis. You may have a guest visitor next week again. The back maybe by popular demand. That means I've got to put a phone call in and ask.
I was going to say it's so popular I don't even know about it.
But as I say, it'll either be in your capable hands, or we may have either Marina or somebody else in with you as well next week. Because again, that was a really popular show, and she came over
very much so,
with an update in regard to the rental market as well. So thanks again for your involvement. Thanks for watching again. Please feel free to share this, like it, comment on it. As I say, it's great to have your involvement. But again, for this week, thank you very much indeed, and we'll see you again soon.
Good night.
Oh
yes, sorry. Yes.
I missed it.
And you've got your pen as well.